Hello there, barbecue friends. It's early in the year, but we got a nice day, nice enough to put my t-shirt on here. Today we're gonna fire up the Masterbuilt, get that rotisserie going one more time. We're gonna be cooking up a porchetta. So I got my charcoal hopper full of charcoal. We'll light it up, then we'll get that meat ready. All right, we're starting off with a nice piece of pork belly here. I actually bought this at my local Costco. It was twice the size. I cut it in half. Here's what we got. I'm gonna start off laying down some parchment paper here. Like that. Now you can see we got this nice fat layer, skin side here. What I'm gonna do is just trim that and fold this over. You start off at one end. Work your way around. All right, kind of like that. We got a bit of a hole there, but that's fine. We'll work with that. Now, we want to cut a layer off going this way. So I'm just going to spin this around. Then we'll cut this back like that. All right. Move this along the paper here, stretch it out. Not the perfect cut, but this will work. All right, now what we're gonna do is season this up. I'm gonna start off with some money rub from the Paradise Pepper Company. It's gonna give you that nice garlicky pepper kind of flavor. Now what I have is a blend of Italian seasonings. It's gonna give you that kind of herbal kind of flavor to it. Now, next up, we're going to roll this up. That's where I'm going to kind of use the parchment paper to get it started. This is where you don't have to worry too much if you cut right through or have some holes in it. Or roll it nice and tight. Okay, this is why you want the fat cap to be rolled up last, because the whole porchetta here is going to be covered with that fat layer. What we're going to try to do during the cook is get this nice and crispy on the outside. All right, now I cut a bunch of strings here. We're just going to tie this up so it doesn't fall apart. All right, now we'll put this on the spit. Right in the center there. All right, now what I'm going to do is season up the outside. We're going to go more with that money rub on the outside. Then I'm going to use a little bit of cherry balm, also from the Paradise Pepper Company. I just love these two rubs together. This is ready for the barbecue. Okay, we got our meat ready. Let's get our barbecue ready here. So close our doors. Let's go to about 300 degrees to start. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put our wireless meter probe into our meat. Now we'll go to that app. We'll set that to 203 degrees. All right, like we usually do when we're putting something on a rotisserie, I'm going to put a couple drip pans in there. I guess in this case I only need one. Something like that. That just sits on that heat manifold. I'll put our meat in here. Okay, here we have it, our drip pan in. It's rotating nicely on top. Maybe what I'll go through, I'll cut these strings off before we go too far here. Okay, that looks better. Kind of cleaned up there. Oh, it looks like I forgot one. Okay, I'll snip that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to close the lid. This is going to be an approximate 3-hour cook. Could be 3, could be 4. I may bump up the temperature toward the end of the cook because, like I say, I want to get that skin on the outside nice and crispy. But what we're working on here is just getting the interior nice and soft, get that fat rendered down. So I'll bring you back when we do the next step. All right, we are now just over that 2-hour mark on this porchetta here on the Masterbuilt. Now, this is the first time I've done a porchetta with a rotisserie. And like I say, I want to get that outside nice and crispy, but it's going to be basting itself with all that fat as it rotates. So you're going to see how this turns out. But right now, just over the 2-hour mark, I'll bring you in for a closer look and then we'll decide what we do. All right, the smell on here is just amazing. Actually, the skin is looking pretty good, depending where we're at here. I'll do a quick interior temperature check here, see where we're at. Yeah, the app shows a temperature of 150 degrees internal. So I think I'm going to leave this temperature. We're set at 300. Just let it keep doing what it's doing. You can see all the juice just coming off there. So the drip pan's doing its job perfectly. Okay, we're going to close the lid. We're going to continue with this cook. We're just going to let this keep going. And I'll bring you back at the next step. All right, we're just under 4.5 hours here on this porchetta. It is done, ready to come off. My meter probe is reading just over 200 degrees. I gotta say how nice it is to be able to come out here in a t-shirt, got the sunshine after a long few cold weeks. Just feels so good. All right, so I'm gonna open it up, pull this off, put it on the board. We'll have a look at it. Before I do that, let's go in for a closer look. All right, look at this. Well, I was running 300 degrees. I was debating on what temperature, but you could see we got a nice crust work in there. I'm really happy with that. So let's pull this off the grill. All right, here we have it. Take this off the spit here. Let this rest for a few minutes. All right, so we got it off the grill. Just rested for a little bit. Should rest a little bit longer, but I am anxious to cut into this, see what it looks like. I'm really happy with how the outside came out on this all the way around. It's the first time I did it on a rotisserie like this. I did it right on the grill, and I'm telling you, there's so much flavor in this. So we're just gonna cut it right down the center. Open that up. Oh, just look at that. Everything just rendered so nicely. All those spices all in there. Just filling this whole porchetta with so much flavor. This is gonna be good. Okay, so let's take a slice out of this. See, I got a piece of string on this. Cut a little bit off here. Try to get a cross section as best I can. It's just falling apart. Okay, here's the inside. You can see how rendered down that fat is. Let's see how the spices carried through. Those Italian herbs really carried through this. Very tasty on the inside. The garlicky herbiness. So good. Let's try to get a nice piece of the exterior here. The exterior is not real crunchy, but wow, is it packed with flavor. Like a heavy, peppery, like a sweet peppery note to it. All around, so much good flavor here. Pork belly alone is so delicious, but if you've never done a porchetta like this, I suggest you try it. So good. Well, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate you give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you want to see more cooks like this, click that subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Barbecue with Greg.
Thanks for watching Barbecue with Greg, one of those barbecue cooking shows people watch on YouTube sometimes.